It was a cold December morning in Brooklyn, New York. 68-year-old Arthur Bishop sat by his window, watching the snow fall gently on the empty streets. His coffee had gone cold hours ago, but he didn't notice. His eyes were fixed on the falling snow, each flake reminding him of her, Clara, his wife of 40 years, who had left this world 3 winters ago. The apartment that once echoed with her laughter, her humming in the kitchen, the sound of her favorite records playing on Sunday mornings, now it was silent. Arthur had become a ghost in his own home, moving from room to room, talking to photographs, waiting for a knock that never came, one Tuesday morning, unable to bear the silence any longer. Arthur climbed the narrow stairs to the attic. He was looking for the old Christmas decorations. Maybe, he thought, decorating might bring some warmth back into the house. But as he pulled down a dusty cardboard box, something else caught his eye. Tucked away in the corner, beneath an old quilt, was a shoebox wrapped in faded red ribbon. His hands trembled as he recognized it. These were the letters he and Clara had written to each other when he was stationed overseas in the army, 50 years ago. He had forgotten they existed. Slowly, carefully, he untied the ribbon and lifted the lid. The smell of old paper and memories filled the air. Arthur unfolded the first letter, the paper yellowed and fragile. It was dated November 12, 1975. Clara's handwriting, so familiar, so beautiful, danced across the page. "My dearest Arthur," it began. "I wore your favorite blue dress today and walked through Central Park. I saw an old couple sitting on a bench, sharing an ice cream cone. They were laughing, Arthur, the way old people laugh when they've spent a lifetime together. And I thought to myself, that will be us one day. I can't wait to grow old with you, to sit on benches and share ice cream, to tell our grandchildren the story of how we met. Stay safe out there. Come home to me. All my love, Clara." Arthur's eyes filled with tears. He pressed the letter to his chest, right where his heart was. As Arthur read more letters, the years melted away. In his mind, he was young again, 25 years old, strong and hopeful. He remembered the day he met Clara at a coffee shop in Manhattan. She had spilled her coffee on his uniform and apologized 100 times. He had laughed and asked for her number instead. He remembered their first date in Central Park, the sudden summer rain that soaked them both, the way she laughed with her head tilted back, rain dripping from her eyelashes. He remembered proposing to her on that same bench, down on one knee, the ring shaking in his nervous fingers. And he remembered her whisper, yes. 1,000 times yes. The last letter in the box was one Arthur had written to Clara, just before he came home. He barely remembered writing it, but now the words hit him like a wave. "Clara," he had written, "I keep your photograph in my left breast pocket, close to my heart. On the coldest nights, when I'm scared and tired and missing you so much it hurts, I take it out and look at your smile. And I remember what I'm fighting for. When I get home, I'm going to spend every single day making you smile. We'll travel to all the places we've dreamed of. We'll dance in the kitchen while dinner burns. We'll grow old together, and I'll never let you forget how much you are loved." Arthur wept. He had come home. But somewhere along the way, between work and bills and the routines of life, he had forgotten to make her smile every day. That afternoon, Arthur put on his warmest coat and left the apartment. He took the subway to Queens, to the neighborhood where he and Clara had lived when they were first married. Everything looked smaller now, but also the same. The little bakery on the corner was still there, though it had changed owners 3 times. The park where Clara had taught their daughter Melissa to ride a bike was still there, the same swings, the same benches. Arthur walked slowly, his hands in his pockets, memories flooding back with every step. And then he saw it, the bench. Not just any bench. The exact bench from Clara's letter. The bench where they had shared ice cream on their first date. Arthur sat down on the cold wooden bench, the chill seeping through his trousers. He sat there for a long time, watching families walk by, couples holding hands, children chasing pigeons in the snow. He thought about all the years he and Clara had wasted, not wasted, but taken for granted. He thought about all the times he had come home tired and distracted, all the times he had forgotten to hold her hand, all the mornings he had left for work without kissing her goodbye. He looked at the empty space beside him and whispered, "I'm sorry, Clara. I'm so sorry." And in the silence, he felt something, not a voice, not a ghost, but a presence. A warmth. As if she was there, sitting beside him. Telling him it was okay. Just as Arthur was about to leave, a little boy ran up to him. He couldn't have been more than 6 years old, clutching a red balloon. "Mister, why are you sad?" the boy asked. Arthur smiled despite himself. A woman hurried over, apologizing. "I'm so sorry, he just runs everywhere." Arthur shook his head. "It's okay. He's sweet." The woman looked at him, and something flickered in her eyes. "Mr. Bishop?" Arthur was startled. "Yes." The woman's face lit up. "I'm Lucy. Clara Bishop was my favorite teacher in high school. She changed my life. I think about her all the time." Arthur felt his heart swell. Here was a stranger, a young woman with her own children. Carrying a piece of Clara with her, Lucy sat beside Arthur on the bench and told him everything. She told him how Clara had encouraged her to apply for college when no one else believed in her. How Clara had stayed after school to help her with English, how she had given her books to read, how she had told her, "You can be anything you want to be, Lucy. Don't let anyone tell you different." Lucy's eyes filled with tears. "I named my daughter after her," she said, pointing to the stroller. "This is little Clara." Arthur looked at the sleeping baby, so peaceful, so perfect. And in that moment, he understood. Clara was gone, but she was everywhere. In this woman, in this child, in every life she had touched. That night, Arthur picked up the phone. His fingers hesitated over the numbers, but then he dialed. His daughter Melissa answered on the third ring. "Dad? Is everything okay?" Arthur took a deep breath. "Melissa, I want to come visit. I want to meet my grandson properly. I want to be part of your life again." There was silence on the other end. Then, a small sob. "Dad, really? Really, sweetheart. And I want to bring something. I found your mother's letters. I think you should read them." Melissa cried, and for the first time in years, Arthur cried with her, not tears of sadness, but tears of healing. 2 weeks later, Arthur landed in California. The sunshine felt strange after so many New York winters. Melissa was waiting at the airport with her husband and little Noah, Arthur's grandson. When Noah ran to him and hugged his legs, Arthur felt something crack open inside him, something that had been frozen for years. That week, Arthur walked on the beach with Melissa, telling her stories about her mother. He played with Noah, pushing him on swings, building sandcastles. And one evening, in Melissa's kitchen, an old record came on the radio, Clara's favorite. Without thinking, Arthur held out his hand to Melissa. "Dance with me," he said. And there, in the kitchen, father and daughter danced, just as Arthur had promised Clara he would do. Before Arthur flew home, he gave Melissa the box of letters. "These belong to you now," he said. "Your mother loved you more than anything in this world. These letters will tell you who she was before she became mom. They'll tell you about her dreams, her hopes, her love." Melissa clutched the box to her chest. "Thank you, Dad. I'll treasure them forever." She hugged him tight, and whispered in his ear, "She loved you too, Dad. So much. And she would be so proud of you for doing this." Arthur flew home to New York with a new lightness in his heart. The snow had melted, and the city was waking up to spring. He cleaned his apartment, packed away the beer bottles, and put fresh flowers on the table, Clara's favorite, sunflowers. He hung her blue scarf in the bedroom, not by the door, because he knew now, she wasn't waiting by the door. She was everywhere. In every flower, every song, every stranger's smile, one Sunday morning, Arthur put on his coat, walked to the corner store, and bought 2 ice cream cones. Then he walked to Central Park, to that bench. He sat down, placed 1 ice cream cone carefully beside him, and ate the other. A young couple walked by and smiled at him. Arthur smiled back. An old man walked past with his dog and tipped his hat. Arthur nodded. And in the quiet of the afternoon, with the spring sun warming his face, Arthur finally understood. Love doesn't end when someone dies. It waits. On benches, in letters, in the eyes of strangers, in the names of children, and in the hearts of those we leave behind. Clara was gone. But she was everywhere. And Arthur was no longer alone. Clara had written in one of her letters, "When I'm gone, don't be sad, my love. Just look for me in the sunrise, in the first snowflake, in the laughter of children. I'll be there. I'll always be there." Arthur looked up at the sky, felt the warmth on his face. And whispered, "I see you, Clara. I see you everywhere, dedicated to everyone who has loved and lost. They are never really gone. They live on in every act of kindness, every memory, every beat of your heart."